Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Genoa City wakes to a sense of uneasy stillness, the kind that whispers before a storm. It's one of those mornings where nothing seems right, and yet everything feels inevitable. At the GCAC, Kane Ashby strides in, his face a mask of tension. He's been calling Victor Newman for hours, trying to report something critical, but every call has gone unanswered. His systems were breached, his AI program stolen, and while that should have been a matter of corporate security, Kane knows better. In this town, nothing stays corporate for long. It always turns personal. Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson sit at their usual corner table, deep in discussion about their son, Connor. They're debating therapists again, another failed session, another round of guilt about what their son is becoming. The weight of parenthood, the Newman legacy, and their shared sins hover over them like ghosts. Adam's voice is sharp, impatient, but Chelsea's softer tone cuts through. They're both tired of pretending things are normal. That's when Kane approaches, his British accent slicing into their private moment. "Sorry to interrupt," he says, though his tone suggests otherwise. "Adam, I need your help. Your father isn't picking up, and I need to reach him urgently. It's about a theft, something that could affect everyone." Adam leans back in his chair, unimpressed. "If my father isn't answering you, Kane, there's a reason for it." Kane folds his arms. "You Newmans always think you're untouchable. But when this blows up, and trust me, it will, don't say I didn't try to warn you." Adam smirks. "Why don't you take some advice, Kane? Maybe it's time you left Genoa City before things get worse. The Newmans have given you plenty of time, too much, actually." That last jab lands, but Kane doesn't flinch. Instead, he gives Adam a knowing smile. "Leaving town? Not a chance. If anything, I'm just getting started." His voice drips with quiet confidence, but beneath it, fear flickers. He knows his system breach isn't just an IT issue. Someone powerful, maybe even dangerous, now has access to the AI program Lily Winters trusted him with. As Kane walks away, Adam mutters something under his breath, earning a wary look from Chelsea. "Don't start another war," she warns him softly. But Adam's already mentally preparing for one. He knows the moment Kane mentioned Victor's name, this wasn't about business, it was about family, power, and revenge. Moments later, Lily enters the GCAC, spotting Kane at a table with 2 untouched coffees. She approaches slowly, sensing the weight in the air. "You said this was urgent?" Kane nods, gesturing for her to sit. His voice drops low. "The AI program's been stolen." Lily blinks, stunned. "Stolen? Kane, that's impossible. I told you to destroy that thing." "I know," he admits, rubbing his temples. "And I tried. But my system was compromised. Someone, maybe Victor, maybe Phyllis, got to it before I could." Lily's eyes flash with disbelief. "You're saying Victor Newman stole it? Or Phyllis Summers?" "Kane, this is insane. I only asked you to handle it because I wanted it gone for good, not floating around causing more chaos." "I want it gone too," Kane insists. "But if someone else has it, that means they could use it, twist it, for their own gain. We can't let that happen." Lily crosses her arms. "Then you'd better fix it. You're responsible for what happens next, Kane. If this thing causes damage, to Chancellor Winters or anyone else, it's on you." Her words sting, but Kane doesn't argue. He knows she's right. "Then I'll find it," he vows quietly. "We'll destroy it together. I promise." Meanwhile, across town, the emotional chaos of another kind brews. At Crimson Lights, Phyllis Summers spots Daniel Romalotti Jr. sitting alone, wearing sunglasses indoors, a dead giveaway that last night was rough. Well, she teases, sliding into the seat across from him. "Either you're hiding from the paparazzi, or you're nursing one hell of a hangover." Daniel groans. Don't start, Mom. I just had a long night. Before Phyllis can press, Danny Romalotti, ever the protective father figure, arrives, coffee in hand. A long night, huh? Care to explain what kind of long night we're talking about? Phyllis smirks. Probably a romantic one. Daniel rolls his eyes, but Phyllis doesn't miss the flicker of guilt in his expression. You didn't, she says slowly. You didn't actually go there, with Tessa Porter? Daniel looks away. It's not like that. Danny frowns. Tessa's married, Daniel. To Mariah. You know that. I know, Daniel says softly. We're just friends. She's going through a lot. Phyllis arches an eyebrow. Friends don't usually wake up hungover and wearing yesterday's clothes. The tension at the table is thick, and Daniel finally stands. You two should really stop trying to manage my life. I'm not a kid anymore. He leaves, but the look he gives Phyllis before walking out betrays something deeper: confusion, guilt, maybe even longing. As soon as Daniel exits, Phyllis and Danny exchange a look. He's in trouble, Phyllis says. Danny nods grimly. And not just because of Tessa. Back at the GCAC, Tessa Porter stirs awake in her suite, her heart pounding. Her dream was too vivid, too real. In it, she'd been with Daniel, their hands touching, lips almost meeting, when a knock came at the door. She'd opened it to find a police officer holding an arrest warrant. Not for her. For Mariah. Mariah Copeland, the officer had said coldly. You're under arrest for attempted murder. The words still echo in her head. She sits up, breath ragged, eyes darting around the room as if expecting the officer to materialize out of thin air. Her body trembles. It was just a dream, she tells herself. Just a dream. But deep down, she feels something darker, like a premonition. Desperate for grounding, she calls Daniel. Hey, she says when he answers groggily. I had a weird night. Come by my room? Breakfast's on me. Daniel hesitates but agrees. As she hangs up, Tessa rubs her temples, trying to shake the image of Mariah's arrest. She can't ignore the guilt gnawing at her, the guilt of feeling emotionally distant from her wife, of secretly leaning on Daniel in ways she shouldn't. When Daniel arrives, things are instantly awkward. He's wearing casual clothes, hair still messy from the night before, and the way he looks at her, full of empathy and curiosity, makes her feel even more exposed. You look like you've seen a ghost, Daniel says, trying to lighten the mood. Tessa lets out a shaky laugh. Maybe I have. I had this dream, it felt so real. Mariah was being arrested. For attempted murder. Daniel frowns. That's intense. Do you think it means something? I don't know, she admits. Maybe it's just stress. Or guilt. She looks away. Ever feel like your dreams are trying to tell you something? Daniel's expression softens. All the time. He moves closer, sitting beside her on the edge of the bed. There's a quiet understanding between them, the kind that comes from two people bound by emotional pain and confusion. Tessa, he says gently, you've been through so much. Maybe this dream isn't a prophecy. Maybe it's just your mind processing everything, the distance between you and Mariah, the pressure of everything that happened in Boston. Tessa's eyes fill with tears. That's just it. What if Boston was the beginning of the end? What if I came back different? What if we can't go back to how we were? Daniel hesitates, then says softly, maybe change doesn't mean the end. Maybe it just means you're finding yourself again. His words hang in the air, and for a fleeting moment, it feels like the world stands still. Tessa can't deny the comfort Daniel brings, the safety, the understanding. But she also knows this is dangerous territory. It's not possible, she whispers. I'm married. Daniel nods, his expression unreadable. I know. I'm not asking for anything. But his eyes tell a different story. Downstairs, Phyllis receives a message that chills her to the bone. A text from Victor Newman, come to the ranch. We need to talk about your future. Danny notices the shift in her face immediately. What is it? Victor, she says softly. He wants to see me. Danny's brow furrows. That doesn't sound good. You really think this is about business? Phyllis forces a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. With Victor, everything's about power. But maybe this is about fate. Phyllis, Danny warns, be careful. The last time you crossed paths with Victor, it nearly cost you everything. She looks at him, eyes flashing with a strange mix of defiance and fear. Maybe this time it'll give me something back. As the day unfolds, Genoa City becomes a web of interconnected secrets, each thread pulled tighter by desperation and guilt. Kane's hunt for the stolen AI program threatens to drag Lily, Victor, and even Phyllis into dangerous territory. Adam and Chelsea's fragile co-parenting truce could shatter as they face new challenges with Connor. Daniel and Tessa find themselves on the edge of emotional disaster, while Phyllis walks straight into Victor's trap, unsure if she's about to be punished or offered redemption. And through it all, one haunting question lingers: was Tessa's dream just a dream or a warning of what's to come? Because somewhere in Genoa City, a secret is about to explode, and when it does, not even love, guilt, or loyalty will be enough to contain the fallout. The morning sun over Genoa City is deceptive, golden and calm, but beneath its light, everyone is on edge. The ripple effects of Tessa's disturbing dream and Kane's shocking revelation are already spreading like wildfire. No one knows it yet, but the next 24 hours will alter destinies. At the Newman Ranch, Phyllis Summers steps out of her car with a combination of arrogance and unease. The long, winding drive leading to Victor's home feels almost ceremonial, as if she's walking toward judgment. The autumn wind rustles the trees, whispering secrets of old betrayals and buried vengeance. Inside, Victor waits by the fireplace, hands clasped behind his back, his gaze as cold and sharp as ever. Phyllis, he says without turning. I was wondering how long it would take you to respond. Your text was intriguing, she replies carefully. I'm here. What's this about? Victor finally turns, his eyes glinting. It's about Kane Ashby. Phyllis freezes. Kane? Victor nods. He's been playing with something that doesn't belong to him. Something that could change the power balance in this town. Phyllis crosses her arms, pretending indifference. You mean that AI program? The one he swears he was going to destroy? Victor smirks. You see, that's the problem. Kane's lies are catching up to him. And I believe you had your hands on that program before it went missing. Her lips curl slightly. Are you accusing me, Victor? I'm stating a fact, he says coolly. And I'm giving you an opportunity. Help me find it, or I'll make sure you're the one accused when the truth comes out. Phyllis meets his stare. There's fear there, yes, but also something else, defiance. You think I'm scared of you? She whispers. You underestimate how many times I've rebuilt myself from ashes, Victor. But I'll play your game, for now. Victor leans forward slightly. Good. Because I have a feeling Kane Ashby's about to regret crossing me. Across town, Kane sits in his Chancellor Winter's office, staring at the flashing cursor on his laptop screen. Every trace of the stolen AI program is gone, erased. Whoever did this wasn't sloppy, they were methodical, surgical. Damn it, he mutters, slamming his fist on the desk. Just then, Lily walks in again, still radiating calm authority even when she's furious. Tell me you've found something, she says. Kane shakes his head. Whoever took it knew what they were doing. No traces, no footprints, nothing. Lily exhales sharply. Do you even realize what's at stake? If Victor Newman or Phyllis Summers have that software, we're in deep trouble. That thing can manipulate digital identities, Kane. It can rewrite truth. I know, he says. Which is why I'm going to get it back. Lily narrows her eyes. And how exactly do you plan to do that? You think you can outsmart Victor? I've done it before, Kane says quietly. And I'll do it again. She studies him for a moment, the lines of worry deepening around her eyes. Kane, just don't make it worse. Please. Don't drag us all down with you. Kane nods but doesn't answer. He's already decided what he has to do. Meanwhile, at Crimson Lights, Tessa sips her coffee, her hands trembling. Mariah hasn't returned her calls all morning, and it's gnawing at her. The dream, so vivid, so real, won't leave her mind. Every time she blinks, she sees the officer's cold eyes, the way he said attempted murder. When Sharon Rosales approaches the counter, Tessa tries to smile, but Sharon knows something's off. You look like you've seen a ghost, Sharon says gently. Tessa laughs nervously. Maybe I did, in my sleep. I had this awful dream. Mariah was being arrested. For something terrible. Sharon's expression shifts from sympathy to unease. Sometimes our minds pick up on things before we consciously do. Maybe you're sensing that something's wrong between you and Mariah. Tessa frowns. You think it means something? Sharon hesitates. I think dreams can be warnings. Or reflections. Either way, they shouldn't be ignored. Tessa nods, trying to shake off the dread. I'll talk to her. I need to see her face and know everything's okay. Later that afternoon, Daniel returns to Tessa's suite. The energy between them is different this time, more fragile, more careful. I've been thinking about what you said, Daniel admits, taking a seat near the window. About Boston being the start of something. Tessa turns to him, her gaze soft but sad. It feels like I left a piece of myself there. When Mariah and I lost Aria's full-time care to the Boston clinic, something changed. She blames me for going. I blame myself for coming back. Daniel leans forward. You're being too hard on yourself. You both did what you thought was right. But love shouldn't feel like punishment, Tessa whispers. And lately, it does. Her voice cracks, and Daniel's instinct is to reach for her, but he stops himself. He knows the line they're both dangerously close to crossing. You're not alone, Tess, he says quietly. Even if it feels that way. Their eyes meet, and for a heartbeat, everything else fades, the theft, the lies, the dreams, the guilt. Only this fragile connection remains. Then Tessa's phone buzzes, breaking the spell. It's a message from Mariah, we need to talk. Meet me at the park. Now. Tessa's pulse quickens. It's her, she says. Maybe this is my chance to fix things. Daniel nods, though something in his gut feels off. Be careful, he warns. At Chancellor Winters, Kane's investigation leads him to a chilling discovery. He traces the final access point of the AI system, and finds an encrypted signal bouncing from the Newman Enterprises network. Victor, he mutters. You son of a... Before he can finish, his phone rings. It's a blocked number. Mr. Ashby, a distorted voice says, if you're looking for your program, stop. You're playing with fire. Who is this? Kane snaps. Someone who knows the Newmans, and Phyllis Summers, better than you ever will. Walk away, or you'll lose more than your system. The call ends, leaving Kane shaken. He immediately grabs his jacket and storms out, heading straight for Newman Enterprises. If Victor thinks he can intimidate him, he's wrong. Meanwhile, in the park, Tessa spots Mariah sitting alone on a bench, staring at her phone. The tension between them is almost unbearable as she approaches. Hey, Tessa says softly. Mariah looks up, her eyes guarded. Hey. You look tired. Couldn't sleep, Tessa admits. I had this dream about you. It was awful. You were being arrested. Mariah cuts her off, her tone sharp. You think I'd ever do something like that? No. Of course not. It just felt so real. It scared me. Mariah sighs, rubbing her temples. Tessa, we've both been under stress. Between the clinic, Aria's therapy, and everything with your music, we're unraveling. Maybe this dream is your mind's way of telling you something's wrong with us. Tessa's eyes fill with tears. Do you think we're falling apart? Mariah hesitates, her silence saying more than words. Then, in the distance, a commotion, sirens. 2 police cars race down the nearby street. Both women turn, unease prickling at their skin. For a second, Tessa can't breathe. The dream flashes in her mind again, Mariah's name, the officer's cold voice, the handcuffs. Tess? Mariah says, frowning. What's wrong? Tessa shakes her head. Nothing. It's just déjà vu. At Newman Enterprises, Kane barges past the receptionist, ignoring protests. He storms straight into Victor's office. Victor looks up calmly. Ah. Mr. Ashby. I was expecting you. Cut the act, Victor, Kane growls. You hacked my system. You stole my AI. Victor smirks. You flatter me. But if something of yours was stolen, perhaps you should look closer to home. Kane slams his palms on the desk. Don't play games with me. You're behind this. At that moment, the door opens, and Phyllis steps in, looking all too pleased with herself. Actually, she says sweetly, maybe I am. Kane spins around, stunned. You? Phyllis shrugs. You should have destroyed it when you had the chance. Instead, you let it dangle like bait. So I took it. Consider it insurance.